Yeah.
Good afternoon everyone and welcome back at the FIDE World Youth Under 16 Chess Olympiad here in Eindhoven 2023 at the high-tech campus, and we are ready for round 5. Once again joined by Anna-Maja, Kazarian. Anna-Maja, welcome once again.
Thank you Stefan.
Ready for another exciting round?
Absolutely. Last round was very exciting. China is just completely crushing the competition so far, and I'm really curious to see how they will continue in round 5 as they're facing number 1 team of Kazakhstan.
Yeah, that's gonna be a tough matchup. They did it they made it look easy, beating the Netherlands.
Yeah.
It was surprisingly easy. 3.5 half victory, and the Netherlands is 4th seed, so I mean not the worst team clearly. And also Kazakhstan didn't really have any trouble beating Azerbaijan. Turkey is completely back again, beating France, and I think they are joined in the lead also by shared second place also by Uzbekistan, who beat Germany, since Ukraine and Hungary didn't win. They drew each other, and I'm not sure, Romania I think also is in shared second now, but we'll see the standings so we can see it clearer now. Yeah, China sole leader, and it's just Turkey, Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan who are shared second, and then there's a bunch of teams shared 5th. I mean still plenty can happen, but it's obvious that China is taking a firm lead, and it's already eliminating the direct competition. So this will be the matches for this afternoon round. As mentioned, China playing Kazakhstan, Turkey playing Uzbekistan, and we see board 3 Armenia playing the Netherlands, which is of course a match we will also closely follow. And the other pairings, well, you can see for yourself. I think one surprising team up there is maybe Bangladesh, board 8. They apparently have a pretty good team.
Okay.
And also the Netherlands too. They managed to get to the top room again. Just barely. The first 11 boards are being played at the same floor as we are sitting, and the rest is sitting at the ground floor. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, that's very exciting.
English very good, yes. Yeah, so we might see them back on the cameras again, and yeah, who knows. I think we also have board pairings by now. Yes, of course we do. The familiar names. Of course, well, we have a nice matchup. Match 1, board 4.
Yes, the two girls that are very strong. They're very well known, as they've been performing really well. Even outside this tournament, they've been doing really well. So I'm really looking forward to this matchup. Nurmanova with the white pieces against Liu. That's going to be a thriller.
Yes, and it's the first time we see Uzbekistan on the top boards. So those names and players are new to me, and I'm curious to see how they will perform. We've seen Armenia play already a little bit, I think, but also most of them are new for us to follow. So the usual suspects combined with some fresh talents ready to try and beat the strongest teams here.
Yeah.
And here we have a lovely overview of all the players on the top 2 boards, the top 2 matches. I always get confused, match, board, team.
Yeah, there's so many terms in this format.
Yeah, so they are just sitting and relaxing. I mean, the players are here quite soon because they have to take the bus from the hotel, so they are being brought in shifts, and some of them are here like an hour before the round starts. So normally they are sitting here right on time, just stretching a little bit. The Dutchies are lacking orange t-shirts. Thank God Arthur de Winter is still wearing them. And but motivation is hope it's not dropping. But
Yeah, most of the teams have outfits, right?
yeah, but I can imagine after a day or two, you might want to change your outfit.
Probably a good idea.
I'm not sure how many orange t-shirts they packed, but at some point it's, yeah, you should change outfits. Yeah. But that's why the first rounds are lovely to see, because then they're all still wearing the outfits, and I guess with the closing ceremony they will also wear their country jerseys and outfits. But as you can see now, it's more casual stuff in the playing hall. But that's okay. They're just human, so it's they're allowed to just wear regular stuff.
Yeah, it's always really lovely to see like the team shirts. Like we see, I believe on board 3, which team is that? In the blue shirts, they all have almost all of them have the same T-shirt. I really love seeing that. It really feels like the team spirit is up there. But of course, after a few days, you may want to change.
Yeah.
And I don't think they all have multiple of those.
I think it was
shirts.
match 6 actually.
Okay.
Maybe is it Greece or?
Yeah, I couldn't recognize the Greece letters. It looks pretty
Ukraine.
Russian. Ukraine probably.
Ukraine, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah, that's no, of course.
And Lviv, yeah.
Yeah, it's always cool. I already heard people talking about exchanging jerseys at the end, and yeah.
That's so exciting. It never really happens in other events because it's like in the Olympiad you don't really see this so much in the Olympiad, the general one.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is a great opportunity to do that for sure.
Yeah, normally you can't just give away your own shirt. That's where the big problem starts, because Federation wants it back. But yeah, it's I mean, practical issues there. But yeah, it's nice to see them have a chit chat. I mean, you talked about it just on your own channel before we went live. It's the atmosphere is pretty good. I mean, players seem relaxed, and the good thing about this format is, I mean, if you lose a game, it's okay. There's a new game coming up very soon, and you can just try again. And
oh no,
she is
merciless, looking at her opponent straight into her eyes.
That's a serious stare down. Oh my.
I love it. I mean, you know, chess is, besides the game itself, it's a very psychological game, and you have to use everything that you have available to you. Of course, no violence allowed.
Yeah.
But yeah, the psychological warfare is real, and if you're able to use this to your advantage, why not?
Yeah, it's allowed. I mean,
as long as it's allowed.
I'm not sure at what point it's like intimidating or distracting your opponent, but you know, I guess it's fine, especially before the game. It's like a proper stare down, so that's quite fun.
Yeah. So yeah, the games are about to start. 3 more minutes left. Let us know in the chat, everyone, who are you rooting for? Do you have a favorite team? Do you have a favorite player, maybe even? Because sometimes there's just one player in particular that you're rooting for. I've seen it sometimes where they're not like rooting for someone from their own country, but like someone in particular. You see that pretty often, especially, for example, at the World Cup at the moment. So yeah, let us know in the chat. Which team are you rooting for?
I'm rooting for the Dutchies.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Bit chauvinistic, so yeah. No, but there's some players that that showed some interest in chess. So you do. I mean, during the tournament, you get some crowd favorites, and that's always quite fun because you do remember the name, and then once you see them playing in future events, you're like, there he or she is, and it's always nice to. As I said, maybe there's some future world champion sitting right here. Who knows? This is board 4 of Uzbekistan we're looking at right now. Also focused. What do you think about this twirling with the chess pieces? I mean, it's. Do you do it yourself?
No, I don't mind it when someone else does it. I just like don't really mind it. But yeah, I rarely do that. Like maybe once or twice, but usually no. I do it when I have like when I'm training for chess.
Right, because it's so boring that you need something to do.
Yeah, it's yeah. Then I feel also a bit more relaxed. But now there's like it's very intense when I'm at the chessboard, having to play my game. So yeah, I don't really feel like, doing that with the chess piece. No.
The thing is, you always have to capture a piece first before you can do it. So if you're really attached to doing it, then the beginning of the game is very stressful because you have nothing to.
Spare queen.
Oh yeah, you have a spare queen. Ah, okay.
Oh yeah.
That's a good thing these days. Yeah. I know. I mean, Anish Giri always does it a lot during games, always with a pawn, and also walking around with it like it's his pet. He's just
just carrying it around.
Yeah, it's my precious little pawn.
Yeah. We see in the chat they're rooting for the underdog. Who is the biggest underdog in the top 10? That's a very good question because as we saw in the pairings, we see that Bangladesh was pretty high in the standings and they seem like one of the underdogs. But they're 12th place. That's still very good. So as it seems like Canada is number 6 right now, ranked 14 overall. So
yeah, but also Armenia, Latvia, Bangladesh, India, they have the same amount of match points. Switzerland also. But if one of those teams win, I mean Greece was the previous round. Yeah, they're seeded 23rd. They just lost, but I mean if one of those teams wins, then suddenly they are the underdog in the top board. So it's always fun to see them. I mean, just being there once is that's the massive handshake there. I love it.
I love it.
And they've started. Now we see a lot of hands, moving pieces. Things are going crazy now.
Oh, this is such a nice view to have for the first move, to see so many different games happening at the same time.
This is the good stuff. It's mesmerizing almost.
Yeah, the very first moves are of course played relatively quickly. It's most of the time it's part of the preparation, and it's after a few moves that players start thinking.
Yeah, on board 1 we see a familiar opening. Hao Wen-shui has been playing this I think the entire tournament, going G3 and B3. He really likes this combination and it's causing his opponents to think normally, but I guess Ansat is prepared. Then again, I mean, you can play anything you like against such a setup. There goes D4.
Yeah, very flexible.
And B5. I mean, we've seen this exact position before in this tournament. I can't recall which round. I think. No, I'm not even going to try. But we've seen this position before, and I think it was by Black who played this before. So yeah, I mean, he looks relaxed.
Yeah, this game. I mean, B5 is rather surprising to push the pawn so far ahead, but it's very logical. You're trying to restrict your opponent from moving C4, for example, and at the same time you want to develop the bishop to B7. So very interesting opening so far.
Yeah, since the bishop is heading to G2 anyway, there's not a big chance that it becomes weak or attacked directly. So yeah, it's fine. Should we just do a quick opening scan?
Yeah, let's take a look. Let's see where there's some surprises happening, or maybe some really sharp opening.
Yeah, this is a nice way to have a look at the openings we are currently seeing. There's a lot of D4 on board 2 also between Sapenov and Xiao Tong. We see another D4 opening. Board 3, same story. We see the semi-Slav between Kong and Mamedov. And board 4 is of course our board of interest, where we see Numanova playing Lu, and that is a Kalashnikov, which is not a familiar sighting at youth events. And Lu, as usual, blitzing out her moves. I'm not sure if she had 47 minutes during this tournament, but
Oh wow.
I think she came close once, and I mean that must be like a personal goal. She'll get there eventually, I'm pretty sure.
That's really impressive.
Yeah, no, she's fast. I'm not sure if it's all preparation and knowledge, or that she just likes to play fast. But either way, you just don't want to sit at the other side of the board when she's staring at you like that. It's how are you expected to play proper chess if she's just staring you right in your soul?
Yeah, this is when you should take out the glasses or the cap to protect yourself from this.
I always try to counter this by staring right past her. And then she's like, "Well, is he looking at me, or is he just looking?" No, he's not looking at me. And then I just watch people in the background, and it worked usually to annoy your opponent a little bit, because the stare down is a bit tricky.
Yeah, especially when it's your turn and your opponent is staring you down, because otherwise you could like try to stare back and.
Yeah, you can, but
it gets very awkward.
It does get very awkward. Just quickly this opening, by the way. So this is the Kalashnikov e5, and knight d6, bishop takes, queen takes, and here you have a few moves for black. Queen e7 is played. I thought there were, it's always a bit weird. Then you have to go queen d1 back, and it's very concrete, and I think it's always pretty good for white. But if black just knows like 3 or 4 moves more than you do, then
yeah, it can turn around.
Yeah, your advantage can just vanish. Because it seemed okay, right? Because black's just going to go bishop e6, covering the d5 square, going to castle kingside. We'll try to push d5, and as white, not so obvious. Maybe you want to go bishop g5, threatening knight d5. So maybe you want to force things by going for this and opting for the bishop pair and have something. But then again, if your opponent is blitzing out the moves, then you're never sure. So bishop g5, bishop e6 played. Can we just have her on the webcam like the entire round?
Full screen.
Yeah, not full screen zoomed in, but I mean she has such this killer attitude. Like
yeah, and it's very important for chess actually. Like this is what makes you stronger, and it helps so much.
Yeah, I think it helps also for yourself just to be. No, this is intense. No, but I think it really helps because as long as, I mean, the way you present yourself to the others, people will perceive you in the same way. So if you're sitting there like I'm invincible, and they will start looking at you like that, and it can really help you. Some people might say it's cocky or arrogant, but I think it's good.
I agree.
It's really good. Okay, let's have a look at the second match between Turkey and Uzbekistan. It's good to see Turkey back because they have some great players, and we just want to see their games against other strong opponents. We see some familiar things. Sicilian d4. I think it's Kazarian on the third board,
right.
And we have the Sveshnikov on board 4.
Ooh.
Let's have a look at the Sveshnikov. Maybe it does look interesting. Once again, board 4, and I think both female players are sitting there. Let me see and try and find that match. It's between Hamdamova and Akat. I guess that sounds about right.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. And we have this Sveshnikov that became popular during the Caruana-Carlsen World Championship match. The move knight d5 is a way to get rid of all the long theoretical drawish Sveshnikov lines. And you get a very interesting position, a4, bishop e2. So white is the advantage, I keep saying it wrong, the pawn majority on the queen side, 4 against 3, and black has the same on the king side. So white wants to press on the queen side and black is pushing on the king side. But this f4 move is very typical to block everything and keeping black limited in the possibilities, e4 and bishop e3, and it always looks quite nice for white. but you don't have to underestimate what black's possibilities are. What I think Caruana showed it very nicely in one of the games against Carlsen. He went for a quick c4, c5, sacrificing this pawn and just gaining space and pushing the d pawn. It's very dangerous. But
Yeah.
black sometimes can also play moves like g5 and go for some. I think we saw rook f6, h6 in one of the previous games this tournament, followed by the queen joining as well in the attack. I think it didn't really work out with the attack, but I think black managed to win the game eventually, not quite sure. But it's a very dynamic position. It's quite fun.
Mm-hmm. Which side would you prefer to take here?
By the looks of it, white looks more than fine.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're developed, you have more space. Yeah, so I'll pick white, but I've played Sveshnikov for a very long time, so I do have a little Sveshnikov weakness, and
Yes.
therefore I cannot fully ignore the beauty of the black possibilities here.
Yeah, no, I agree. I've played Sveshnikov for a little while myself, so I'm also familiar with this, but I've played this actually with both sides, where I was facing those pawns on the king side, the pawns on e4 and f5. So yeah, it is, as you said, a very dynamic position. It can go anywhere. Both sides have something to play for here, and it will get very exciting, I think.
Yeah, people often underestimate black's chances. That's what
Yes.
makes it very interesting to play, because you can be very surprising all of a sudden. And shall we have a look at the third? No, hold on. The first board of the second match, because that's a bit similar to what we saw in. Let me get the game. There we go. This quick e5 in the Sicilian. We saw it the previous round,
Yeah.
and here it's happening again. And I'm just curious to see what's going on in the game between Gurel and Bekmuratov. Quick e5, what's going on? We have some early calculations to do here. You have to take, right?
Yeah, seems like it, because if you move the knight, you will lose the pawn d6.
Yeah, because you take. I mean, this is easy, right?
Yeah.
Pawn takes or queen takes. I don't know. Is there still a possibility of going d e5 here? No, just queen h4. Huh?
Oh yeah.
Okay, just giving away every piece we have. Excellent. So you have to take, and now I'm wondering if white's gonna play queen h4 or something, or
Yeah, that
knight
seems like
d5?
the classic move to start putting pressure on the king side.
But does it make any sense?
That's the question.
Because we're missing a bishop here.
Right. That is a very important factor here. Okay, knight takes c5 has actually been played.
Ah, right. Allowing the exchange of queens. Also giving up on the g2 pawn. Is that a big deal? And when the queens get off the board, I can imagine that you can just at least consider grabbing the pawn.
Yeah, I'm guessing there are some tactical difficulties, or at least white has some compensation as the g file is now opened. And the knights can be pretty annoying.
Do you have... No. I'm trying to make something like this work. Knight d7.
Oh.
So if knight takes, I guess there's bishop e7, and this double attack is winning you material. So if you move your rook, let's say rook d8, I want to try to...
Yeah, bishop takes first.
But yeah, bishop takes, knight takes. Yeah, this is winning material, right? Rook g4, for example.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's some tactics there. So you might not be losing the pawn immediately, even though there might be some miscalculation in this line. Maybe there's... No, but here you can play rook g1, right?
Yeah, that's spinning the bishop.
Okay, a bit tactical.
Yeah, knight e7 is such an unexpected move, but that's why white has so much counterplay here. the knight on e5 is super strong, and the bishop on c6, it is developed, but it's very vulnerable there.
Yeah, because if you
Doesn't feel
don't take
pleasant.
on g2, then what are you going to do? Are you going to allow
Yeah.
knight takes c6, or what's your plan?
That's very unpleasant long term for black, I think.
It's almost like you want to play this weird move, the bishop e8 you see sometimes in these structures. You
Right.
just put the bishop back and then later on it will develop. But now with the rook here, it feels a bit awkward, to say the least.
Perhaps you want to start with rook fc8 and then consider bishop e8.
Right, so now you can recapture with the rook.
At
and
least you have that.
yeah, true. I'm not so convinced that this exchange is good for white, but who am I to judge what he's doing? I think he has a pretty good idea of what he's doing because he has 46 minutes on the clock, so I guess he's still in book.
Seems like it, yeah.
Yeah, so there's probably some clever way of reaching an endgame with a nice advantage there. Okay, we'll see how that goes. Shall we have a look at the third match, which is
Take a look.
between Armenia and the Netherlands, where we see an endgame on board 1 already.
Wow.
Piliposyan against Yichen Han, and board 2, Arthur de Winter against Gasparian. We see this Caro-Kann, where I know Arthur de Winter played some very convincing games against lately. Board 3, Agasarov against Kumar is... what's that opening? Where did the b-pawn go? No idea what happened there.
Seems like some sort of gambit happened.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Or
material
was
is
there?
equal.
Oh, was
Ah,
there maybe?
DC4, BC4. Yeah,
the
okay.
pawn trade.
Right. Also, this b3, g3 kind of opening.
Right.
And last board for Hai against Hairapetyan is like a Grand Prix attack, Sicilian, I think.
Very
All-
exciting.
All interesting games. Which game shall we check?
Let's take a look at the end game since the queens are off the board. I'm curious to see, which side would be has a better position because it looks pretty balanced.
Mm-hmm. There it is. I found it. Took me ages, but I found it. Yeah, Piliposyan against Han, and let's see how this happened. Quick c5, allowing for a mass exchange of pawns and pieces, especially if you go e4 next.
Oh wow.
Massive exchanges there. Okay, so white is aiming for this slightly better pawn structure. I mean, if you win this pawn, then you could say e6 is weak and I have something to play for, especially with the bishops. But he then quickly grabs, what happens here, knight e5, no bishop e6,
Huh, that's interesting.
probably because there's knight d3 followed by knight f2.
Oh, that's pretty unpleasant.
But it feels like you should allow this.
Maybe there's knight b5 or
Yeah, you have some ideas there. I'm looking at weird stuff like rook here, knight takes, and knight d5, threatening checkmate.
Ooh.
But it's just a empty threat because it's easy to defend. Okay, this is funky stuff. So white decided to play bishop b5 anyway. King f7, and now you take. Okay, but this is dry. Opposite color bishops. Black seems to be fine, I guess. And the knight on e5 is controlling d7, so no rook d7 anytime soon.
Yeah, this can go anywhere, I feel like.
Yeah, bishop check, rook c8, rook d8 is very, very equal. It seems. Well, no, you gotta keep an eye on knight d6 though.
Yeah. The king on f7 is not very safe, but I also don't see any particular danger just yet.
Maybe just bishop e7 then.
Very solid.
After f4. No, it is annoying. It is very annoying because you don't want to allow the rook to d7, of course. So you really like to stop the move f4, but the only way to do so seems to be bishop h6, but then you have the problem that knight d6 is becoming a possibility. Maybe now king e7, but I don't know, g3.
Yeah, it doesn't feel so safe.
Rook d8.
Maybe you're barely holding on here.
You gotta be precise.
Yeah.
If you make a mistake here, it can be very annoying. And yeah, he's still thinking here about what to move. His opponent even left the board. Not very common. I haven't seen that very often this tournament, but it's of course allowed, so why not? And let's see the third board. Let's see what happened there.
Okay.
Just curious to see how this got on the board.
Early h6.
You sound like you've seen this before.
No.
No.
I usually see a6, but not h6 in this line.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's to stop any sort of bishop g5, but I wouldn't know what the reason behind it is.
I do know the black player is very careful in the opening. Also as white, we saw him play d4, knight e3 and c3 in the previous game.
Oh, that's true.
So maybe it's just to want to limit his opponent's possibilities and not allow anything. But as black, normally it's a bit passive to play like that. But e5, yeah, if that's playable, then you are going to be fine. e4, but there, the pawn structure is changing very quickly. Knight e5. I guess if you take plenty of times, in the end, the pawn on, you have problems with the queen. So you have to take what the pawn on c7 is hanging, or there's check, or you take here. I mean, there's issues.
Yeah.
So you can't grab that pawn there. So a6 being played, takes on d6, takes on c6, plays d5. Now you have a very beautiful bishop. No one's going to challenge him anymore on this long diagonal. f3.
Opening up the position.
This is looking very good for white.
Yeah, I'm also pretty convinced that this is good for white. This bishop on b2 is just sniping across the diagonal, and yeah, what is the black playing for here? Because I don't really see a plan here for black.
No, it's hard. You need to defend against this, well, threat almost on f6. You need to develop your bishop to some available square. But I mean, just putting it on d7 or f5 is a bit random, almost. Not a real plan here. Trouble, maybe, for black already here.
Yeah. Looks rather unpleasant.
Just quickly scanning to see if there's anything we must see at this moment. But I think most games are still in calm waters. Maybe we should check the second board, which is interesting, between Arthur de Winter and Eric Gasparian, where, as mentioned, we have this Kazarian, and they're playing board. Yeah, on a second board, of course, on this camera. And so this h4 is super popular against the Kazarian these days.
Yeah.
It's a plague, almost.
Yeah, I've tried it myself, but I'm less successful with it.
It's always tricky if you like playing. When I was white and was playing e4, I always hated when they played the French. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to play French myself.
Yeah.
But I also hated it as black, so I was like, what's up with this opening? I just can't play it with white, can't play it with black. Really frustrating. Queen a5, knight c3, e6, a4.
Wow.
That's a move. I've never seen this one.
Yeah, it's rather surprising. I wonder what the necessity is of this move, because you're not stopping b5 if it's considered. And after c5, you always have queen b5 anyway.
Yeah, and you're also allowing bishop b4, and you're no longer able to remove that bishop with, for example, a3. Mysterious little move here, a4. So black develops in the standard fashion. He also just takes that knight. What's happening here? Rook takes, knight f3, makes sense. Knight a6. I love it how black is going. Knight here, knight here. Castle. Bishop e7, knight e2, and c5.
Yeah, this looks pretty good for black, I think.
What's the white plan? That happens sometimes. So what's the what is white up to? I don't understand the whole a4 bishop takes h6. I don't get it. There must be a reason, because he only spent a few minutes of his time, so I'm pretty sure this is preparation or homework, but not so clear. Okay, so one typical reply to c5 is.
Well, I'm thinking of two things, but oh no, I'm being put on the spot here.
Yeah.
Oh no, I was thinking of queen b5 check.
That's a possibility.
It was not the one.
It's very concrete, so it might be interesting, because knight c7, there's b6.
There's
yeah?
the
Oh no,
rook is defended.
It's defended by the knight.
Yeah, I was hoping for it as well, but
okay, but still, this is not done yet, because you can bring the second rook.
Oh yeah.
It's very forced. You go here, but okay, the king is closing in very quickly, and the rook might not be so strong on b7 as I hoped it would be.
Yeah.
And I think the typical reply, or at least what's white normally worries, is to move c4 when you open up the entire position and the king is still in the center, not being able to castle kingside. But I'm not sure if it's if the move is dangerous here, because you also have knight b4. It doesn't really complement well with this a4 move.
Yeah, that's the issue.
Yeah, I find the white setup a bit strange. I'm curious to see how he will prove his point. Should we head back to match 1?
Let's take a look.
Let's do that.
It seems like on board 4 there is some excitement happening, as Lou is on it with the attack, starting with h5, and yeah, it looks already promising, I have to say.
Yeah, we have to check that out, right?
Because there's barely defenders on the king side. I mean, the bishop on g2, of course, but
yeah, so we left the game here.
Yeah.
Bishop g5, bishop e6, white went g3. h6 was being played to force the bishop to make a choice. Decided to take an f6, queen takes, bishop g2, knight d4, castle kingside, and then h5. I like it. It's just annoying. You just castle. You're like, no, we just have a normal position. I just castle kingside, and we just, we start to play a slow game, and then h5.
yeah, and the worst part is that after h4, suddenly g5 seems appealing, and I would start to get really worried with white here.
Yeah, me too.
Because it's really hard to see what the counterplay is here for white.
Yeah, so I think your normal counterplay is something connected to knight d5 followed by c3. But here you're too slow, so you have to play it here, I guess. I mean, you need to challenge this knight. Maybe knight. I wanted to suggest knight e2, but that's just very, very bad, I think. Because bishop g4.
Ooh. Yeah, that doesn't look so nice. f3 is a huge weakness, and of course, knight on e2 is in huge danger.
But can we play this?
That's a good point. Bishop takes doesn't seem good. I guess you have knight takes still. That seems to work.
But how are you going to get rid of the pin? I need to...
I guess.
Hold on. If I okay, so I take once, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So now if I attack,
queen
you
d3.
just take the knight, right?
Right. Yeah.
So I need to go like this.
Then I may be in time with g5, g4.
Yeah, that's. I was hoping I didn't need this queen d2 extra move. Yeah. Okay. And if I go king h1 here. Okay, so h4 is also very.
Yeah, it's
dangerous.
very annoying.
Okay, so you don't want this. You don't want this. It's too messy for what. So maybe just knight d5 here, and then you want to go c3, and but it feels like black just has a free attack. You can just take and go h4, and after c3 you just put your knight on f5, and this bishop looks a bit passive. Your king seems to be safe in the center unless f4 is a thing, but that feels dangerous as well because g3 is just hanging, and I don't believe that will ever work. Well, maybe it does work. What do you play? Also knight e3. There's many things wrong with this move. Okay, forget about it. What did I play? 95 played? Yeah, 95 played. Bishop d5, e d5. And here, Nurmanova's thinking again.
Yeah.
Which is a bit surprising because this was pretty forced and.
I think she made a move because it's loose.
Ah, she did.
Turn.
All right.
But I'm trying to see.
Oh no, it's black to move, of course, because you just took
Oh.
back here.
Okay.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really nice position for black. I mean, this knight is just simply dominating the position, and even if it gets kicked back to f5, it's very clear what black's plan is, whereas white's plan, I'm not so sure.
Nope, an h4 is played. Of course.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe there is this f4 move. I want to explore this a little bit. Because the only thing we can try is to create counterplay, and that's against the king in the center. So what's this move going to bring us? So my idea is that if you take on g3, I'll take on e5, and if you take with the queen, I got rook e1. I mean, it's pretty obvious, but
Yeah.
you can take on h2 in between if you like, but then I'm going to put my king here, and with the knight under attack and the queen under attack, I'm hoping that it's difficult for... Okay, wait. Can we, instead of taking on g2, maybe queen h4 to defend a threatened checkmate? We might force this move, I'm not sure. So you can also take on g3, can you?
Ooh. I'd rather not. I'd rather use it as a shield.
Yeah, but if we can, we win the knight.
That is true. But I guess you have queen h2 check and knight f5.
Ah, knight f5, yes,
yeah,
of
it
course.
looks very, very...
I thought you have this one here, so knight f5 is...
Queen g4.
Yeah, or queen f3, g4, yeah, which one is... Yes, looks good. Okay, but now there's knight h6 maybe, with tempo. G7 hanging. Okay, let's just try this one. Ah, but now you have queen g2. Solving some issues.
Yes.
Followed by knight e3 check. Yeah, so maybe we do need queen f3 after all. Yeah, this is just a winning material.
Yeah. This looks not good for the queen.
Yeah, so f4, it does feel like a chance. Because I don't see how black is going to respond in a healthy way. it hasn't been played in the game though, but it. Like if you castle, you take on e5, you're forced to take back with the queen. And after c3, now the knight is a bit loose. Okay, you have knight e2 now, hold on. This is just losing on the spot. Yeah, it's still dangerous, right? g3 hanging. Okay.
c3 has been played.
Yeah, too much of this. I'm getting carried away with the all the interesting lines. c3, knight f5 is the current position here.
Yeah, looking good for Lou so far. And I'm curious to see if Nurmanova is able to recover from this, because her position is looking very difficult, and maybe she has to start considering moves such as h3 maybe to stop any sort of attack and start shutting the king side down.
Yeah, yeah. But okay, yeah. I wouldn't say it was black's threat, but it's just what you take, your queen h6, and yeah, it's tricky. Okay, we'll see how she will defend all this. Should we head to board number 3?
Let's take a look.
Kong against Mamedov. There's Mr. Mamedov. And he just played knight to e5. I mean, white looks pretty active. Oh, he just allows bishop f6.
Oh wow, that's rather surprising. But I'm guessing there is knight takes f3 and you win the pawn on h2 at least.
Do you? You want to take now?
I was not sure yet if I want to take first or do I take on f6.
I mean, if you take here also on h2, then I guess I just play g3 and
yeah.
And you don't even have any compensation because it's just going for the counter attack.
Right.
There. So okay, you threatened to take on f3 and h2, but
yeah, but it's at a very high cost.
yeah, this looks terrible. And I have to stop the threat though. Push this pawn. Play king h1 maybe?
Yeah, I'm guessing black is allowing this to have the open g file and launch an attack sooner or later, but yeah, with king h1 you're avoiding all of those threats, so yeah, we'll have to see if black is able to capitalize on this, or if it's just simply a very weak pawn structure.
Yeah, I think that might be the case. Was it necessary to go knight e5? Maybe there was this rook d1 coming and he wanted to do something to free his pieces a bit. But okay, looking good for white. I guess. I mean, I prefer white. I'm not sure about you, but I prefer white.
I agree.
There. What is next?
Let's see what is happening on the other boards. The board 2 seems very, I want to say symmetrical even. I'm not to say equal, but it almost looks symmetrical. The only difference is that, yeah, the bishop is on d3 and the other bishop is on e7.
Yeah, so the knight and
the knight, yeah.
And the bishop, if you.
But yeah, this looks very equal, I would say.
Yes.
Not very convinced yet.
Well, normally in these symmetrical positions, like every advantage is just pure advantage. So I'm always just checking if there's something in white's favor. I mean, if the knight is very poorly positioned here, and this knight is strong, I mean, let's say I can play the move f3. Is it white to move? Yeah, I can play this move, for example. And now this knight is very poorly positioned, and if I can play knight f4 next, then it starts to look like I have a more active knight, but I don't think I can play the move knight f4 because d4 is also under attack. So it might just look very equal indeed. yeah, very equal. Just because d4 is weak. All right.
Yeah.
Check board 1.
Let's see what
To wrap
happens
up
there.
this match for now. Some strong King's Indian vibes. But this started out as the b3 g3 opening, right?
Yeah.
Let's go back quickly here. b5, bishop b7, queen d3, a6, developing c4. Now it turns into this like King's Indian where black tries everything to play b5 at some point, but now you've already played b5, so might be a good version of that. e4, e5, d5, and that's where we are right now. Rook f8, last move played, clearly intending to play f5. Are you a big King's Indian player?
No, but I do appreciate the aggressiveness of the opening. It's really cool, but I've never dipped my toes in the opening, no.
Why not?
I guess I'm not ready for it. But I guess I've played it with white against it. You know, those similar lines that you get when you play against the modern defense, you get those kind of similar structures. So yeah, there are some similarities at least, but yeah, usually black is playing on the king side, of course, and white is trying to launch some attack on the queen side. But here, I'm not sure where the attack is for white, because this pawn on c4 is simply stuck, and there's not much happening. I mean, of course, there is the rooks on the b file, but I'm missing some pawns to attack here, and without the b pawn for white, I don't really see how you can progress here.
Sorry, we've been looking at the wrong players. No, you're completely right. I'm also missing the white attacking idea here. I mean, f5 is coming. There's nothing you can do about it, I think. And knight c5 not only protecting or blocking the c pawn, but also protecting the e6 square, which is sometimes weak if you go f5. You sometimes have this f5, then knight g5, knight e6 ideas. But knight is very useful blocking that as well. And he goes bishop a3, I guess.
Oh wow. I was thinking maybe knight e1 to play f4 would be a good idea to try to play against this pawn push on the f file, but let's see, what would the idea be behind bishop a3?
Yeah,
I'm curious.
This one might be interesting. Yeah, I think he wants to eliminate the knight, so maybe if black plays nothing, let's say king h8, I think he wants to take and go c5. Or knight b3 and c5, depending on whether he wants to exchange his knight or, well. So, because his plan should be to go for c5, so bishop a3, maybe knight b3, everything to just pressure this square and make sure that he can push his pawn later on. But is he fast enough? Because black is able to play f5 here.
Yeah. And what do you do about it?
Maybe just nothing.
F4 seems very unpleasant to deal with.
Yeah, it does. But
even f takes e4 also seems rather unpleasant.
The annoying thing is I can't play knight b3 now. That bothers me the most, I think. Because you're just winning a pawn.
Yeah.
Also can't take on d7, so...
Yeah, you're running out of moves here.
Yeah, my plan is just not working. Or his plan. Okay, so let's say I'll take on f5 once. Pawn takes. And I'll go knight b3 here.
Yeah, 4 seems very appealing. Or, yeah, e4 I don't want to play because that feels like it's weakening many squares. But I want to get aggressive with f4.
Yes, of course. guess I have to move back, and I think, I don't know, e2? No. d2? Yeah, d2 feels right.
Now I'm thinking whether I want to take on g3 or play e4 first. It's not so easy.
I'm just hoping that these pawns don't do any serious damage.
Yeah, I think one of the issues for white is the bishops are in very strange places. I mean, they're not very bad, I would say, because the bishop on h3 is doing much more than if it would be on g2, but it's on the edge of the board, and I feel like bishops are not supposed to be there.
No, you're right. I'm trying to make things work, you know, with taking on c5, maybe knight e6. But it feels like I'm so incredibly slow. Then again, are you so quick or just weakening pawns? I don't know.
Yeah, that's the question.
Interesting. Did he make a move or yeah, no, bishop a3 and he's still thinking about it. It's I guess you have to play f5 because if you don't, I'm not sure what you're gonna do. I don't see how you can make a move that improves your position even more. Okay, we'll see what he does. Let's head back to the match, the second match.
Let's take a look.
Between Turkey and Uzbekistan. We can have a little peek at the evaluation bars here. It's looking pretty balanced though.
Yeah.
Well, it's better in most games, but then it's, yeah, overall match boards, it's balanced. Okay.
Yeah.
Should we just go board by board?
Let's take a look.
Just update things a little bit there. Then we just start with the first board. Gurel against Bekmuratov, and there we saw the Turkish player. He was playing fast, remember this? Knight e5 opening, and now black decided not to exchange the queens.
Oh wow.
Which surprised me a little bit, because knight takes c6 still happened. You have to take with a pawn, and he's still chasing the queens. Knight e4, knight e5, takes, rook d3. This is always a nice flexible move, being able to defend, attack. Knight g6. And here it's up to white to decide where to put the queen. No, I like white's position. I'm not sure what you think about it, but
yeah, I mean, black is the only one that has a weakness, so that is something that white can play for. And at the same time, I'm not sure what black can do here. Of course, I can try attacking the king on c1, but rook b8 doesn't really do much as of now, and it's pretty easy for white to defend in any situation, really. So I think the plan for white is very straightforward. Either you pressure on the pawn on c6, or you start attacking on the king side, h4, h5. And this knight on g6 feels very unsafe there.
yeah, because you win so much time by attacking the knight and then playing h6. And where do you put the queen here?
I want to go to c3.
Yeah, just keep the queens on the board, no exchanges, protect b2. Yeah. It's hard. What move are you going to play with black? I guess we're going to fight for the d file maybe, rook fd8. But even here you might be able to go. I mean, if you want to attack, it might be possible here.
Yeah, I think, yeah, I would like to play rook g3, if possible.
Yeah, rook g3, rook d5 maybe.
That's a strong move.
Blocking your future h5.
Yes.
now black might be taking over
Mm-hmm.
a little bit. I mean, at least taking over the d file to rook d8.
And you still have to be precise here.
Yeah, we can't just allow that, it seems. But rook d5 is always possible. So queen c3, rook d8. We can't really stop rook d8, rook d5.
Yeah, not really.
Unless we're prepared to go. Yeah, he went to c3. So c4 is no longer a move. Maybe knight d6? No, but f2 is hanging.
You still have rook f3, I think.
Ah.
So maybe it is knight d6.
Ah, but now there's another issue with knight.
Oh. Now rook g3.
Now rook g3.
We're getting there.
Yeah, we're getting there indeed. Knight and d6 is hanging. Huh. g6.
Ooh.
Ah,
It's
no,
like a
just
forbidden move.
yeah, no, I agree 100%. Maybe not e4 now, is that?
Maybe you
annoying,
can
like-
even take on f7 if you really want to win material.
What? Is that Paul? Okay.
I hope I
Okay.
win the knight back.
Show me.
Oh no.
If it works, it looks strong.
I was very convinced there would be some queen f3 or rook f3, but I'm not so sure after rook d4. How about? Oh, actually, yeah, you threatened g3.
It seems to work, right?
Yeah.
Okay, tricky. I think both moves have been played. At least queen c3 and rook fd8 have been played.
Okay.
So we are on the right track.
And now, as we saw, knight d6 seems like the critical move.
Yeah, I think we can agree once black goes rook d5 and rook a to d8, then black is getting back into the game, I think.
Yeah.
So knight d6. So we just tried knight f4, running into rook g3 with some trouble. Maybe we can... Oh, it's difficult. Because f2 is also, I mean, you kind of want to consider this move. You said rook f3, right?
Yes.
And if I take on g2...
Rook takes f7?
Yeah, and now... This is a difficult checkmate threat. Huh. Period.
Yeah, that's difficult, and the black pawns are also very weak, so yeah.
Yeah, the knight is hanging, but it's no big deal at the moment. Nah, this feels shaky. Maybe the engine doesn't see any trouble, but I think it's, as a human, it's not really fun. Okay, 96 might be a nice attempt, but it's a bit double-edged. All right, let's check second board with Bagilayev against Erdoğmuş.
Okay.
And we have a cup of water blocking the black position there.
That's a very close-up view of the cup.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's your cup, mister.
Caught red-handed.
Yeah. You want to have this, maybe blow some air out of this camera just to get rid of all the things blocking it. So what do we have here? We have this Carlsbad-like structure, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, the black pieces are pretty passive, but I've seen worse positions. Okay, white is the bishop on d2. That is not really doing much either, so...
No, true.
Yeah, I think as long as black is not getting checkmated on the king side, I think black is doing more than fine.
Well, yeah, exactly that. It doesn't matter. I think it doesn't matter how these pieces are positioned.
Yeah.
As long as you're not getting checkmated, you are probably quite satisfied with how things are going. Also, this knight and the bishop. Is that ideal? You have to go through e5 again, but it's a bit unclear how the knight is getting very active in the near. What was his last move? Knight. Knight e7. Okay. Yeah, it's looking okay. No big issues here. I think this game is still about to. Well, that wants to explode, but there's still. The action will probably come a bit later. 95 back, I presume. But after, let's say, f6, you're forced to go back to g4. I mean, are you trapping the knight? Maybe it's a bit too much, but we do have at least the idea of trapping the knight.
I guess queen h5 is the issue.
Yeah, I thought so too, but can we just go g6?
Yeah,
because it's well
it is very well defended.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what to do now.
Yeah. You have knights. Okay, it's not so pretty, but you have knight c4.
Oh, wow.
The thing is, if he takes, then you take first with check, and then you take the bishop on b7. But let's say you move the bishop to b8 for all I care. The knight is still awkward. I mean, is it going to a3 next?
Yeah, that's
Doesn't look right.
yeah, that's strange.
So okay, you might not be losing the piece, but it doesn't look very pleasant for white either, unless there's a move we've simply missed.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the idea was of putting the knight back.
Not me either. Oh, he's giving him the look.
Oh no!
We can go queen h3, by the way. That might be the move. But still, what happens? Take on e5?
Oh, that's really challenging it. Accepting the challenge.
Yeah. Not scared. Not my pieces. You only have 2 pieces in the attack, so it's
yeah, and the
thin.
knights are really covering the square as well.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to see how white can really make progress here.
Yeah, once you play the knight to f6, you're covering so many light squares, so it makes it difficult for the light square bishop and the queen to cooperate nicely. Yeah, this looks good for black.
Yep. Yeah, it's not very simple anymore.
Tricks, tricks, tricks. I think he's calculating some stuff. I mean, he's the strongest player we have around here almost. He will find his way.
Wow.
11 years, 12 years old. Well, he's from 2011.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. It's insane.
I remember 2011.
Yeah, well, we're doing a 2011. Just being a lame-ass student, I guess.
Playing in Haarlem in the youth championships.
Yeah. Oh, time flies.
Yeah.
Don't want to think about it. Alright, let's see if he finds f6, but in the meantime we will continue with the third. Is he gonna make a move? Is he?
Any moment. Yeah, he's reaching for it. No.
Yeah, this is. You know this when you want to show everyone that you saw a move already, when you still want to think about it, but you do want to show people that you saw it instantly. You're like, and then you think again. It's the yeah. You need to show that you saw stuff quickly at that age. Come on, f6.
There it comes.
I want to see how it works.
No.
The tension.
We're being
It's killing us.
debated here.
Come on. I'm just curious to see if it works and what White's plan is here. I think it's going to be exciting. So let's.
Pretty sure he's looking at it. Ooh. G6.
Why?
Ooh.
Why are you playing G6? I don't get it.
Very defensive. I feel like he's making space for the knight to go jump to G7, but yeah, not sure why f6 was not.
No, me neither. Too bad.
Not played.
We'll never know. No,
We'll
check.
never know.
We'll check later. All right, third board.
Take a
Kilic
look.
against Omanov, where we see Kilic. Yes, he is thinking. That knight looks not the first time we've seen a knight on d6.
Yeah, and this one is not really impressive either. I mean, it is impressive how the knight got there, but what is it actually doing there? Because the pieces of black are covering everything just fine, and once the position opens, I feel like those bishops will get very strong.
So how do you open the position? That's the next big question then.
Yeah, probably. Well, first of all, there's a pawn hanging on a4, so that helps. I guess if the pawn will be protected on a4, the idea would be to try to push b5, but then you allow your opponent to capture on b5 with a knight, so I'm not sure if that's worth it.
And also it's still white to move.
But there's also a rook on c1 hanging actually.
Mm-hmm.
So then we're actually able to capture the pawn on a4. I think white might be in trouble then if a4 is free.
But you win back a5, right? Let's say rook c3. Yeah, that's the move we just played.
Mm-hmm.
So if you take on a4, I'll take on b6. I guess you take back on b6. Ah, but also b2 is hanging. It's not so simple. And also you have rook b4 here. It's not simple at all. Okay, you can play b3.
Bishop b5? Since we're up, or well, not up, but with those bishops on the board, I'm not sure for white.
It feels like black is lost here, to be honest.
Yeah, I can see. I can see what you mean.
I just see I think there's some tactic that's gonna turn out pretty badly for black here. But I think I threatened to take here already.
Yeah.
Because your king is in nasty spot.
Yeah, it's not so easy for black yet.
Yeah, rook c3 and black is now maybe considering to take the a4 pawn. Or just take... I mean, you can also just take on c5 first. It also makes sense. I guess rook takes and... maybe not just rook b4. But you have to maybe go bishop f8 back, try to go h5 or h6, get your king a bit safer somehow. Threaten this knight. Okay, rook ac. No, you can't go to c1.
Yeah.
And maybe white's gonna. Oh, sorry. What happened? Rook c3 played. And maybe white's gonna take with the pawn even. Because this and bishop f8 just seems to lose a pawn at some point.
Yeah.
So you might take back with the pawn.
But okay, black is stuck with the light squared bishop, and it seems like this bishop is not such a great piece.
No, you almost consider this move here.
Hmm.
Just to get it out.
Maybe it's okay to lose the pawn with white after rook takes c5.
He takes with the rook on c5. Yep, so rook
He
c3, b c5, rook c5.
And white happily loses the pawn on e5 so that you can put a knight there. Please take my pawn.
Right. That's also true. Then you're definitely weakening all your dark squares. But he's eyeballing a4 massively. It's like, yeah, you're mine, buddy. His hand is just waiting to drop down on a4, grab the pawn, and like, yeah, it's a free pawn. I'm gonna take it.
He's also down to 7 minutes on the clock versus 25, so that is quite a huge difference, and yeah, that might hurt in the long run.
Doesn't matter, he's gonna take that pawn.
he's gonna take that pawn.
He's gonna take that
pawn. The pawn is what matters.
6 minutes, 7 minutes, I don't care, I get a pawn. b2 also hanging.
We completely missed this.
We're in
I
top
think
shape.
we didn't really consider this because
Instant queen c3.
it looks shaky.
Forcing rook b6, I guess.
And then you can capture a5.
Yeah. And then you just up a pawn. Huh. Yeah, no, this is looking very strong for white.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was a mistake.
Now the knight on d6 is looking much better. Oh, hold up.
He played rook b8. Threatening back rank mate. And his opponent instantly goes knight b5.
That is very intimidating.
Yeah, he's gone. Okay. He just disappeared. Just bam, 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 gone. Yeah, he's looking like, oh, what's happening?
Yeah, this looks actually like trouble because black is simply losing material. The bishop on c6 is hanging and the rook on b2 as well.
Yeah, you're losing a lot of material because if you take, then you're pinned. So.
As if it couldn't get any worse.
Yeah. No, this is game over, I guess. Kilic just destroying his opponent in a few moves in tactical fashion here. Just instant winners. That's well played by him. Board 4.
Yeah.
Things happened. Board 4.
Yeah, I see a passed pawn b6. I think this was the Sveshnikov, and it seems like white cleared the queen side a lot.
Yeah.
There's not much left, but yeah.
You can say that. Did black go for this? Let me just go back a few moves. I'm curious to see how this happened.
Oh.
Black just went with white by playing on the queen side, but you're always gonna lose on that side of the board, so you should actually switch to the other side because this is hard. And now black switches to the king side, but now it's just the queen.
It's too late, and you need more than that.
Yeah. Too little, too late, and white's just dominating the position. You have to be a bit careful because there's this queen e1 lurking around a bit, and it's hard to make progress without your queen. But okay, white should be able to find a way. One extra pawn, right?
Yes, and you can, if you really want to, you can play b7 to take on d6, for example, because the pawn d5 is looking very strong.
Yeah, that is true.
But we don't have to play b7 for the time being.
Yeah, so you can go b7, but you can also just improve your king.
Yeah.
Maybe by going g3 or h3, I don't know, and then be able to free your own queen, so you can, yeah. Okay, looking good for white then. Let's head back to the Dutchies. I want to see what's happening there. Well, we see nice advantage for white on board 2, but also Armenia doing well on board 3 and 4. And board 1, Armenia is doing well.
Ooh.
Armenia is doing well.
Wait, in this game of Arthur, he seemed like his position seems very unclear. His plan was not very clear to see, but all of a sudden he has a really huge advantage here. So what happened?
Good question. This is where we left.
It's been a
his
while.
Now G5 played, G6, Queen F3. Well, Arthur is, as I mentioned, he's played this opening a few times this summer, and he's shown great understanding of the position. And I think he went for C4 here. Got some queen side and just.
Oh, you do not want to lose F7. Not like that.
That hurts because you also lose E6 or G6. It's
a huge pawn grab.
No, this is just game over. Castling queenside was just instant game over. He's grabbing all the pawns. He has 4 connected pass pawns. Well, I'm not sure if this is the 4th connected pawn, but I mean, you get the point. It's intimidating. And he's up. Well, you know I'm better at counting pawns, but I get 3 pawns up.
Yeah, seems like it.
Okay, that will do.
That will do.
That will do.
So that is that would be a nice win for Arthur, especially considering the other games are in favor of Armenia. So the Netherlands will really need this point.
Yeah. So this is board 1 between Piliposyan and Han, and here white is up a pawn. I did my counting.
Very good.
Thank you. But we have opposite color bishops, so there's some drawing margin there, especially since white doesn't have a pass pawn and black does, which kind of levels the score a bit there. So I guess this game will last for a while, and he will take the h7 pawn.
But then rook h5.
Is he winning a second pawn? Yeah, I just now see there's bishop g8.
Rook takes h2.
And then
king f8. And rook g6.
Whoa, or can you take here?
Oh.
Takes and rook a
Oh,
check.
the check.
And here?
Oh, that's evil.
It works, right?
Yeah.
You're just winning the endgame. That's a nasty trick.
So I guess you have to place. Well, I mean, you lost all the pawns. So what do you do?
Yeah, you keep the bishops on the board. Hope for the best. I have no clue if this is a draw or. We might see another rook bishop against rook endgame. Okay, he has to be a bit careful. It's more tactical than I thought. We got rook h5. I mean, we're gonna see it quickly now because he's gonna play bishop g8 for sure. Nothing else makes sense. Unless you want to go bishop d3, that's also possible. Giving up h2 to win a6, but then you're losing g3, so this feels like draw. No, he goes bishop g8, yeah. He goes bishop g8. Okay, he has to be a bit careful here.
Yeah.
Let's see if he manages to do so. In the meantime, we will check the third board where Agasaov is playing Kumar, and that still looks like a dominating position for white.
Yeah. This pawn e3 may seem very strong, but it feels just like a huge weakness and not much that black has to counter this with.
Yeah, you can just win the pawn on demand, yeah? If you go bishop c1. You don't even have to, but you can if you like.
Yeah, and the bishop on c8 looks so sad as well.
Sad, yeah, that's it is sad indeed. Not miserable, just sad.
Just
She's like,
sad.
I don't want to be here. It's okay, but I just don't like it here. Yeah, he goes rook. In the meantime, we're seeing on the webcam the first board where you just played rook takes e6. It's a great combination if you can find and execute it. But okay, yeah, this is looking good for Armenia. And last board in the match between Verheij and Hairapetyan, it's what is going on? How is that bishop trapped on b5? What is?
Wait, there's also
How did you ever let your bishop get trapped like that?
Oh, c4.
c4.
Oh no.
Dana, what are you doing?
Oh, that
Knight
hurts.
f6. Okay, maybe she's
very focused on the attack.
Yeah, which might work, but if it doesn't work, you just down a piece.
Yeah, the defense of black is pretty simple.
Yeah. And now black
Ooh.
just waits with capturing the bishop because you can wait.
You can wait for a very long time.
Yikes. Also d3 is hanging, so you're gonna lose everything basically.
Yeah, the pawn on d3 is hanging, the bishop on h6 is hanging as of now, and doesn't seem like it has a really good square. Yeah, this is looking very rough for white.
Let's just should we check board 1? I think the knight combination, is he gonna play it?
Let's take a look.
Because I think if that board is won, then Armenia's looking very good at winning the match.
Mm-hmm.
Because rook takes e6 is on the board, and king f8 is also being played. Yeah, he takes the pawn. That is very, very nice. Well played by him. Well played.
And he stands up.
Yeah, Hichem was like, okay, rook g6 might be annoying, but okay, opposite color bishops, I might have a chance. And then just rook takes a6, and he's like, oh no. What did I do? Is this possible? But okay, maybe there's bishop e5. Hold on, let's not get too carried away here.
I guess you always have rook b6. Oh, actually, there's a bishop hanging on g8. We have to, we have to remember that.
Yeah, we do. Huh. This might just save the game.
So what happens after a simple move like b3? Okay,
the
actually,
bishop.
the bishop is...
Yeah.
Okay, let's give a check first and then play b3.
Check. Now you can just play b3. Well, at least you keep the bishops on the board. And the king is cut off. I'm not sure if that has any consequences. I can play rook h8, right?
Ooh, I wonder how that endgame is if rooks are traded. I mean, it must be winning for white.
You mean the opposite color bishop endgame, yeah?
Yeah.
Should be a draw, right? Well, no, it's not that easy. Okay. Yeah, okay, it's a bit too far maybe to analyze this entire endgame. He played bishop e5. Okay, so the game is still... It's still a game, it's not over yet. This whole line is getting a bit more complicated than Robert anticipated, I think, because he is like, bishop e5, okay. Good point, missed that one. Wait, Dana didn't lose her piece.
Did it survive?
Oh no, she lost another piece.
To make matters worse.
No, I didn't. Well, not my intention. No, she gave up the bishop on h6, and she played bishop e8. So she managed to save that bishop, but gave up the other bishop. I was bishop e8, but then I saw she lost another bishop. I still think the position is close to hopeless for black, to be honest.
That's really hard to save, yeah.
Because I don't really see how this stays alive for much longer. With the knight here, I mean, queen e5, centralizing the knight here. It's it's looking quite bad. Okay, let's switch back to which match deserves instant attention at the moment. And board 2 finished, by the way. Arthur de Winter won his game against Kazarian.
Very good game by Arthur.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at the first match, board 4. I feel like there is a lot of excitement happening there.
Let's do that. China, Kazakhstan. We're gonna have a quick overview of what's happening there. And this is where we left off.
Yes.
You were looking like, wait, this is not a position.
No.
No, it's not. Was f4 played? No, I was in the wrong line. h4, c3, knight f5, queen a4 check, king e7, queen e4, g6, rook e1. Takes. I will have nightmares. I mean, that look, she is. I just can't stop talking about it. It's so intimidating, and I think it's so powerful as well. I wish I would be so confident at my games as she was. And she has every right to do so, because that attack looks dangerous on the h file.
Yeah, despite the fact that white is threatening to capture that pawn on b7 with check, the king is simply going to hide on g7 and it's more than safe.
Yeah, it's gonna go. Yeah, did she take? Rook takes e5. Ah.
Oh!
Hold on. What does this do with the confident look? Oh, she is screwing this pawn in the table.
Wait, this is looking
Yikes.
very rough because after king f8 you have queen takes d6.
Oh. Ouch. More pins.
Oh, that's a very costly pawn. And now g6 is hanging as well. So you're not going to lose h2.
Yeah, she's low on time.
Oh.
4 minutes.
It seems like a huge miss by Liu, and we also missed that rook takes e5 is simply possible because, yeah, so
She's-
many pins.
He's giving her the same stare. Doesn't matter. I love it. But she knows that it's. Is this bad news? Can you do anything else? No, you can't really go to d7 because there's still queen b7. So she goes to f8. Giving her opponent a look once again.
Oh, and now, now that the pawns are captured of black, this bishop on g2 is becoming stronger and stronger, and in the endgame it will prevail. So
Rook takes e5. We just missed that one. I mean,
Yeah.
without the move, black has dangerous attack, but now it's all being liquidated. And okay, with queen d6, you can go king g7 still, right?
yeah, you're still holding on, but
What is your next move? I'm sure there's plenty of good moves, but let's just see what is out there.
I wouldn't even be surprised if rook takes f5 is good, so that you just capture as many pawns as possible.
Right.
But
Rook-
is it necessary? I don't think so.
I get rook e takes and then queen e5 is what you mean.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you have still have some tricks, right? After
Oh.
queen g6, rook takes, and bishop here. I mean, you have some possibilities there.
Mm.
It's all working in white's favor now. And the bad thing about the entire black position is that even if you take on h2, that's just it. It's one pawn. Yeah,
There's
with-
no follow-up.
With queen c1 there might be a follow-up threat, but
Mm.
with just the rooks it's nothing that scary for white. So white has time to, well, just do something else. Big chance for Numenova to beat her so far strong opponent. Well, she will still be strong after this game,
Yeah,
even if she loses.
but undefeated.
Undefeated, exactly. I'm not sure. Maybe Numenova is also undefeated. I'm not entirely sure about that, but yeah, interesting. Let's see how she will proceed here. In the meantime, I think board 1 is looking interesting as well.
Let's
have
take a
there.
look. I see a piece that is. I don't think it will see the light this game. This bishop on a8 looks very bad.
Yeah, this must be a very big advantage to white. Just up a pawn
Up a pawn and almost up a piece.
and almost up a piece. Yeah. Black is down to a minute and a half.
I think despite the fact that this bishop on a8 is very bad, and usually we don't want to trade bad pieces of your opponent, but I feel like the only way to make progress here is to trade it off and push that a pawn. So the moves I'm looking at are either queen c7 or queen a7 to play bishop d7 and put the bishop on c6.
Right, you want to execute something like this and take with the pawn
Yeah.
and then push. Yeah.
I feel like it's one of the very few ways to make progress here.
This one looks good though. Also blocking this queen a4 possibility, which I don't know, just might be annoying, attacking some pawns, and yeah, there he
Mhm.
goes. Queen a7 played. Yeah, so it's only chance for active players f5 it seems. Also stopping your idea in the meantime. But Maybe just 92. No, wait. 92, there might be bishop g5.
Oh, can you take on f5? Bishop takes
you
and
can
rook
just
b8.
take twice. Yes, of course. Very sharp. Rook b8. Winning. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you don't have f5 with black, then
Ooh.
yeah.
Then what else?
What else do you have?
Because I mean, this is also just coming. Before you even do something else, you can push your pawn. You can do anything. Okay. Looking very strong for white. Second board I think is rather equal, but I didn't do the pawn count, so who knows what happens.
Oh, actually, okay, knight takes d8. I was thinking if it's a pawn game, I'm not so sure anymore.
Yeah, this is pretty equal. Okay, then the third board, because things are going fast now, so we are going to switch fast as well. We had this position when we left off, and currently it's this position where pawn count equal.
Yes.
And white is thinking, but white seems to be completely in control here.
Yeah, I mean those pawns on the queen side are not really going anywhere of black.
You have so many options. You can go f5, forcing bishop c8. You can also go e5 and just go knight e4 and knight f6.
Ooh.
There's many possibilities here. You can also leave the pawns if you like.
Yeah. Queen on g7 is not looking good. You want to have a bishop there, but the queen as a defender of the king is not a good defender.
No, because e5 looks good.
In the meantime, I'm seeing that Nurmanova has actually sacrificed the exchange.
Ah.
She did take on f5, so we might head into the endgame at some point. Very soon.
It does feel a little bit unnecessary, maybe.
Yeah. But I like the confidence in this position. So when we look at the material count, so white has 2 pawns, but is about to capture the third one. It must be enough, but you never know when you're down the exchange.
But hold on, how are you going to achieve that? So queen e5, do I have f6? I know you can now take that pawn, but if the queens get off the board,
yeah,
things change.
Yeah.
No. I mean, you can still try. No. I was gonna say you have this idea with rook f5 still, because you also have king takes and queen e4 checkmate.
Oh wow.
But okay, your queen is hanging, so it doesn't work.
That is unfortunate.
And if you go queen e6, now you have to be a bit careful, because there's still this queen c1, which might cause some tricky combinations with the rook g2, rook h1 ideas. So did she play? She played h4. Clever move.
Yeah, that's a very good one. Now the king can safely go to h2 after a check. So yeah, this is.
And then the rooks look silly.
For black.
Yeah, the rooks look silly now on the h file.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, okay, guys, good luck.
White has a passed pawn. This bishop on g2 is becoming a monster soon. Rook may go to d3 if not for the pawn on f5.
Yeah, and if white can keep the queens on the board, then it's super strong.
Yeah.
Okay, looking good for white here. Shall we check Turkey against Uzbekistan?
Let's take a look.
We see the first victory of Akilic, which was expected because he was tactically outplaying his opponent there in the middle game. But we do see board 4 as a big advantage for Uzbekistan, and the other 2 games were pretty balanced. So maybe we should have a look at the board number 4 and see if we can figure out what is going on there. It might be very simple though.
Seems like white is just promoting.
Yeah, this was this.
Oh, the b6 pawn, yeah.
Yeah, switching go with the b6 pawn. b7, e3 takes queen e2. Now the big question: can you queen? Well, to queen or not to queen?
Oh, that's a tough one actually, because if you queen, there might be some repetition.
Bishop f2 played.
It's probably a good idea.
Yeah. I mean, you're gonna queen anyway, so.
Yeah, that pawn is unstoppable.
Is there a try?
Yeah. Maybe she'll
Bishop,
try queen
yeah.
d2.
Bishop d4 she played.
The final attempt. Okay, after bishop takes d4, is there queen d2? Or queen d1, yeah.
Yeah, queen
Why
d1,
not?
and then you take on d4. And now, if white queens, you have check. But now you're running away, right? Or, yeah, you're.
Maybe queen c1, yeah.
Okay, but now queen d2. King is not getting away now, I think.
Yeah.
This is a draw, right?
Should be. If white tries to escape, maybe the king will get checkmated.
Yeah, so bishop takes d4 played. Queen d1 played. I guess you're gonna play king h2. Yeah, played, and she took on d4, of course.
And now what is white supposed to do here? Because I'm failing to see how you can defend the pawn. I guess you have to consider queen a3. But then it's unclear when the pawn will promote.
Yeah, maybe queen b6.
Yeah, not so easy.
But can I go queen c8? Is that enough to...
Oh yeah, that covers the some of the checks.
Ah, but you can still go to d4.
But now maybe you can run.
Now king h1.
Ah, oh that's clever.
Yeah, but you need another move because you haven't queened your pawn yet. So maybe it's queen f2.
Ooh. This is going to be a very interesting endgame.
It's a bit tricky, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everyone knows this should be winning for white, but you gotta make a choice somehow, somewhere.
Mm-hmm. And while the time is ticking as well, players are starting to get into time trouble. Some of the players are even down to seconds on the clock, so this is getting very excited now.
Yep, and we see results in the Armenia against the Netherlands match, where Dana Verheij lost her match against Nvart Hayrapetyan, and that was a checkmate. Let's see how that game finished, just for completeness sake. We saw bishop e8 as the last move by white, and black took over the initiative very quickly. Rook takes d3, rook g3, queen g7. The queen is going zigzag all the way to b2. Oh, d4 first. Knight f4, and there b2. Queen g2, checkmate. Yeah.
Nice finish.
Yes, good victory for Armenia there. That means the match is 1-1, with Peter Polshan still trying to beat Yichen Han in this in this opposite color bishops endgame with the rooks on the board. This is not the current position, but this is at the moment. I'm not sure what this position if it's winning, but Yichen doesn't have good experience with the rook bishop against rook endgames. So let's see how that develops. And the third board is also quite exciting still, between Kumar as black against Agasarov with white, where white is up a pawn. This is exciting. It feels pretty bad for black, but then again, e4 is hanging.
King d3, I guess.
Yeah, but then you gotta make sure you have something after f5. Is that dangerous, or maybe just queen h8?
Hmm.
It's not so easy to. You can give a check, but after king c8.
Maybe you have queen a4 and you infiltrate on c6.
Yeah, the funny thing is, I didn't really see how you infiltrated actually.
Yeah, it's pretty tragic to have to play knight b8, but if it helps, if it covers all the threats.
But also, I can give a million checks first.
Yeah.
That's the downside of all your pawns advance to the 4th rank. You have nowhere to hide.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if king d3 is. No, he played. I liked it. He played e5.
Okay.
F e5 and now bishop a5. So he's using the black pawns as defenders.
Wow.
Because black can't, well, go through his own pawns, of course, and also can't capture them. So.
Oh, after king c8, queen a4, the knight is pinned.
Yeah, but now knight f6.
That is still possible.
It was clever though.
Okay, I guess after trading queens, but then it's not so clear that endgame actually. Because if you take the pawn on e5, this knight will appear on d6 and there's no way that white can do anything here.
Yeah, and if you want to get closer, he goes knight e6, and if you go bishop c3, there's just e4
Yeah.
check, and
It's falling apart.
yeah, and you sacrifice the pawn, so material's equal now. I'm getting better at this pawn counting.
We're getting there.
Yeah, this is a tough defense by black. It might even work. In the meantime, we see a victory on board 1 of the first board 1 match 1 between Awen Shui, who beat Adira Ansat as we expected, because black was pretty much stalemated.
Yeah.
Let's just see how he finished that game.
Yeah, because the bishop was still on a8. Or was
Yeah, we left
a
the
rook
game.
blundered, I think.
He just played queen d8 and white entered, allowing f5. Knight jumps to h4. Oh, this is.
Oh.
Yikes. Take that with check. Rook b8, bishop e8.
And
Yeah,
that's over.
that's crushing victory there. Nice, very nice win, which gives China the lead in the match. And if we see the 4th board, we can also see that Lewis escaping. Queens were exchanged very easily. Rook h5, and you get the pawn with king e5 and rook f6.
Ooh.
It's not so clear anymore. You do have the advantage, but it's scary. And after bishop g4, rook g8, you even have to be a bit careful that you might lose the g pawn. I mean, you have 3 pawns for the exchange, which should be enough.
Yeah. Yeah, at least white can create passed pawns at some point. I mean, the h pawn is already a passed pawn. So maybe it's not so bad to trade the rooks off. But with this very strong king on e5, it's hard to say if white would be happy with the rook trade. Because king d4, the king is entering, and those pawns seem pretty loose on the queen side.
Yeah, the rook is a nice defender to have. It's quick and flexible, but if they get exchanged, it's tricky. Even though white is still 6 minutes and black is below 30 seconds, it's still a game.
Yeah.
It still is a game. And the 3rd board, what's happening there? Let's go to the actual position. No, this is not the actual position. This is the actual position.
This is the position. So white is up a piece for some pawns.
Yeah, I'm doing the pawn count, but you're doing the piece count this time. That's
Only 1 pawn.
yeah,
difference.
1 pawn for the and only 1 piece difference, so it's that's balanced.
Yeah.
Now this is
Rook d7.
no, but
Oh,
it's
there's
with
a
check.
the check. No.
Would be very.
I
cool,
would lose
but,
this in bullet. I think.
You're like, why? Wait, why can't I? Yeah, let's check. Yeah, but I think just knight takes e4, isn't that?
Yeah.
And then you can.
Queen d4. I don't know. You can do many things here because simplifying is winning. Trying to promote that pawn is winning. Bishop f7 is winning.
It's all winning. He has 3 minutes now, and the opponent just 26 seconds. So I mean, you like to be precise and just get it over with instead of being sloppy and still have to play for many moves. Okay, let's check the second match. Things are going fast, and we have, as you can see, that when the matches get closer, the games last longer, and there's a long time trouble situation there. So we see Turkey against Uzbekistan. We saw board 3 winning for Turkey, and board 1 is this queen endgame where white is up a pawn and up 4 minutes on the clock. So that is massive. And also board 2, Turkey is doing pretty well, up a pawn once again. And board number 4, we just saw that queen endgame, white also up a pawn at the moment. But that might head to a draw. So we'll see what's happening there. Shall we?
Oh, there's now moves being repeated on board 4 actually.
Oh yes.
And this pawn on b7 is simply going to get captured, or the repetition will happen.
Let's have a look at board 4. Let me find that game. Yeah, because also white is very low on time, and yeah, so this repetition what you were talking about. The queen f2 played. Yeah, just giving up the b7 pawn, trying to win the f5 pawn, and just starting all over again.
I guess you can try g6 or king g6 just because you can protect the pawn, and yeah, you don't have to lose it right away.
Right, and whenever queen s7 happens, you just go queen e1 again. Yeah, good point. Good point indeed. Okay, so this endgame might start all over again.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Why not? That means we can have a look at the other games, and I guess board 1 is a game we want to have a look at. This endgame we want to see. Now this endgame, of course, where white is pushing and black is very low on time. And
yeah.
f5, a6. White looks very confident.
Oh, queen b7 check is a threat.
Yikes. Move your queen. Do it quick. Queen e8 check.
Yeah, simply queen c6.
Yeah, I was just thinking, is there a situation where this pawn endgame might win for black?
Hold on. That might actually throw the advantage. Okay,
don't take the pawn, because then you do.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah. But you can play b7, so it's okay. But
yeah.
You don't really want this because now you have to start all over again. It seems, but it should still be winning because you're so close to winning that pawn with check and. Okay, but why risk it? Maybe just. Yeah, maybe you have to risk it. I don't know. King c5. You can just go back with your king. Let your queen do the heavy work.
Actually, queen d4 check is also starting to take the pawn.
It is, yeah.
So, yeah, making sure the king is safe is it's a good idea.
In the meantime, Kong won his game against Mamedov. He was up the piece and converted to a victory. So China is up 2-0. They are crushing the field at the moment. Yeah, king c4 played. He wants to keep things complicated for his opponent. Now queen c8 played, I think, and king d4. Is that really what happened?
Looks like it.
Giving up the a6 pawn? Well, that doesn't look too good then.
I guess for the pawn on f5.
Yeah, but then he should have taken the other endgame, right?
Yeah.
They both promoted. Now, this is... Nope. It's not what he had in mind.
Took the pawn?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, so many checks. We have several queen endgames now.
Yeah, I'm a bit worried for white that we're approaching draw territory because the pawns are not very far advanced anymore.
Yeah, but you will keep making moves forever. There's always a place to hide, especially with this time control.
Mm. In the meantime,
And he's so low on time. Okay.
in the meantime, I was seeing that Liu is slowly recovering. She managed to capture both pawns of Nurmanova.
No way. Is she getting away with this?
Looks like it.
So China up 2-0. Second board is likely heading to a draw, it seems. So maybe whatever Liu's doing, wow, the engine goes crazy now. Whatever Liu's doing might not even be relevant for the match result, but of course she wants to win.
And she might.
The rooks just got exchanged and both at 20 seconds, king e5. White must be very upset.
Yeah, that was a huge opportunity for Nurmanova, but now, with only the bishop left, the pawns out of reach, it's very hard to see how she can recover from this.
Yeah, she was up 3 pawns for the exchange,
She had
right?
3 pawns and 2 pawns are gone. The most important ones.
Ouch.
And now the king is just going to g5, attacking the pawn on h5, and this should be over soon.
Yeah, does it go that quick? You
You
can go bishop f7.
I guess rook c2, and at some point white runs out of moves.
Yeah, that's also
Or rook
my-
c3 and you try to get g3.
Yeah, you give a check first. That's what she did. King f2. Maybe
Rook.
just a4. This is
Yeah.
your waiting move, maybe. Or king g4 also. No, you want to
Mm.
wait for king g2. Yeah, she played
Yeah.
a4, king g2, then king g4, so you can take with check
Mm-hmm.
and then get behind the pawn.
Very precise.
That looks strong. Yeah. Yeah, you have waiting moves also. This is a waiting move. Wow, how did she turn that game around? That is impressive.
Very.
Bishop g6 being played, but that's just giving up your a pawn. That's game over. Check, king f3. And she resigns. Oh.
Oh, that's heartbreaking for Nurmanova, who played so well. Remember the sacrifice on f5? That was just insane, and it looked very promising, but she wasn't able to convert it.
No, she exchanged queens very quickly. I think that might have
May
been
have
a
been,
practical mistake, maybe, because then
Yeah.
the game became easy for Liu, and well, she won. China 3-0 up. Last game, well, seems to be heading for a draw, but does it matter for the match result? China's crushing the field once again, and Xiaotong is probably eager to keep their unbeaten status and not lose a single game yet. So, what do we have? Turkey. Turkey, Uzbekistan.
So board 4 managed to get out of the repetition situation and has now another passed b pawn that is on b5 currently. So
I actually want to check the Dutch team, by the way, because I think board 1 is
let's take a look.
it's getting very funny. Maybe it's bad, but it looks.
Oh, what?
It looks like it's entertaining. This is it. Well, Hicham was trying to checkmate his opponent, but now bishop e2, and he's just losing the bishop.
Wow.
No, wait, hey, you can take the bishop with the rook. What's going on? King takes e.
So if rook takes the pawn was promoting somewhere?
Hold on. So what's up with this one?
Okay, the third is checkmate. So
Ah, you give check.
you give check and then
you
promote.
take the bishop. No,
Yeah,
if you promote
yeah.
it's checkmate. So you
Yeah,
have-
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then okay.
Very tricky.
Well, even king c3 might be. No, you have rook e1. There's no checkmate. Okay, never mind. Let's check the game because he took with the king.
And that
Rook
allows
takes,
this
rook
rook
takes.
endgame.
But now your king is cut off.
The king is cut off, and there's no way that black can stop the b pawn.
Yeah, you're running behind the facts, as we say in Holland. Yeah, you're just offside.
Yeah.
No, but how? What is your no? Yeah, so what is your next move?
I think you have time to play rook c5.
Yeah, but then the king is getting closer. You got rook h3, but what if I...
I think it's not a bad thing that the king gets closer because it's not able to get very...
No, if the king
much
gets here,
closer.
it's a draw most likely.
Ah.
Because you can't get closer with your king. Because every time you do, it's check, 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 check. You get check everywhere.
Yeah. Ah.
I had this on the board a few months ago, and it's still quite tricky. But black is has more defensive resources than you might expect.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's head back to match 2 board 4, because there it's we have the queen endgame, and it's going into the similar territory as we just had before, where white has a passed b pawn, but now it's the b2 pawn that is getting there. Yes, here's another. This guy went all the way here now.
Yeah.
And black is still trying to go for perpetual. We have a similar situation here. Is this the position right now?
I believe
I need to press the magic button.
doesn't do its job anymore. No. Because we see on this other screen over here that the game has advanced quite a few more moves.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. We can't see the moves here.
Oh, there it is.
Ah, there it is. Yeah, so we have the same stuff all over again. Now there's 2 pawns even.
Yeah.
d5 is being captured and the pawn is on b7 again.
But the problem is now there is no checks because the queen is covering all those squares.
Yeah, diagonal safe.
And resigned.
Well played by Kamdamova beating Akat.
A deserved win after having had to try for so long to convert this game.
Yeah, that means that Armenia is still, sorry, Uzbekistan is still fighting against Turkey, because there's still one ongoing game there. And white has to win this game to tie the score, if I'm not mistaken.
That's a little bit difficult considering black is up 2 pawns. Okay, 1 pawn may be captured, but actually f4 is just played. So yeah, I'm not so sure if white has any chances of winning here.
Both around 20 seconds.
Anything can happen in time trouble, of course.
The nerves, the knights, so disturbing. King f6, knight g4, check, king g7.
Ooh.
The clock is suffering at the moment.
Rook d6. Okay, there's an f pawn you need to take care of as well.
Yeah, I mean, Erdogan just needs a draw, but I'm not sure if he knows. I'm not sure if he wants.
I'm sure he's ready to win this game.
Rook e7. In the meantime, the Netherlands is losing their match, it seems, yeah, because Hichahan just resigned. And Peter Bolshian won, and therefore Armenia won 3-1 against the Netherlands, which is a little bit surprising result. Very good match by Armenia there.
Yeah.
And the first match between China and Kazakhstan ended in 3.5 victory for China. I don't see anyone stopping them. Yeah.
Again, another flawless victory. I mean, okay, flawless, no losses for China.
Now it's up to Turkey to try and stop China. They seem to be the best chance of stopping China, because they've been crushing the other competitors so far.
Mm-hmm.
But can they win this match? That's the big question. I think they will play China no matter what, also if they draw this match. But it is tricky, because there is this f5, f6. What's happening? Is this the position?
The pawn has been captured, so we're behind a few moves on this board.
Yeah. Okay, there it is. I'll try to keep up now. Both around 15 seconds. But white is active. He's pushing black back, and that's always dangerous. At some point you just don't care about the pawns, you just want to be aggressive and active. Rook c6 played. Just keep the pressure on.
Yeah, because it's really hard to see what black can actually do here.
What did he play? Rook b7, okay.
Okay, that's a
Like
reasonable
to go
attempt.
king e4, king f5. Then you're 2 squares away from the knight, which makes it harder for him to check you. But I think he took the pawn, yeah. Not a big fan. Because now you're letting him off the hook a little bit. Knight g6. Because just grabbing pawns is not going to be enough because there are so many pawns being removed from the board already. And he took the knight. No, that's not how you win this match. I'm not rooting against Turkey, by the way. I'm always rooting for the underdog. That's what I find.
Yeah, white needs to win in order to tie the match.
Yeah, so that's yeah, no, this is not okay. I'm not sure if black's gonna win this endgame.
Yeah, at some point the attention focuses on trying to make the best out of the game instead of trying to win for the team, because it was pretty hopeless.
Yeah, true. But still, I think, yeah, okay, it is pretty hopeless. There's always chances, but
yeah.
h4, check. This endgame should be a draw, right?
Yeah, I'm not seeing how the pawns can advance here easily. The king is also cut off of black.
It should be a draw, but these endgames are always tricky because there's so many nuances. I think this is the only featured game that is still ongoing, so let's just stick around, see what happens. I missed some moves. Rook b5, a5.
King g2.
Yes, thank you. Rook a3.
In the meantime, I was checking the other boards, and there is another rook and bishop versus rook endgame.
No, not again.
It's crazy to see so many. I don't think it happened so many times in one tournament.
It's every round.
It's pretty rare.
Yeah, we'll get back to that game after this one finishes.
Yeah, it might go on for some time.
Let's see if we can squeeze out a victory somehow. h3 played, and yeah, that's probably quite important because now you can go up and down these two squares, get your rook behind the pawn. This should be giving you more drawing potential.
Yeah, it doesn't seem very difficult because also the h4 pawn is very weak, and once white captures that pawn, it's very easy drawn.
True. But this is nice. He went rook g3. You can switch to the side. Is that nice? It's supposed to be nice. King h2 and rook g5 is going to be
the
a
king
flag.
is cut off of white.
Yeah, you're protecting your pawn and the king is cut off, but he's not sure about it, as you can see. The typical that your rook can look around to see if you don't blunder anything. Yeah, where to put the rook? You wanna... I got rook b8. Right, you just want to be able to go around and get behind here. Yeah, he goes for the check. King h5, both kings cut off now. Rook a6. No, rook b8.
Okay.
Threatening to just win the pawn, but black's gonna play a rook move. Yeah, rook c5. Nope. Just confusing the live audience. And rook.
They're playing with the live board here.
Rook f5, yeah, testing the technology. Check. King g5. Check. King f6. If he manages to get this and this, then I think it's game over.
Oh.
Because then the king is free to do whatever it likes, and it can go all the way to the a file.
Yeah, true.
And the white king is still cut off. So you might want to play rook g4.
Yeah, it seems very nice actually, because then rook a4 and the king is not stepping forward.
Yeah, he played it.
Nice find.
Rook h5. Okay, still you found a way, but now, yeah, rook a4 is not necessary. It is, because king g2, rook g5. Okay, so rook a4, king e6, king g2. Now king is going to g4, I guess. And king d6.
Yeah, I'm not seeing black making progress here. Okay, the king is heading to b5, I guess. But at the same time, the white king is moving forward.
Ah, rook b5.
Ooh.
Now he managed to go rook b4 and a4.
But okay, now you can move the rook back to a1.
True.
Oh, actually, rook b4 is a check.
You're not getting the h pawn.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, and taking the pawn is definitely losing.
Let's check the cup cam. Yeah, still there. Cup cam doing fine. Yeah, this is he's below 10 seconds. Rook.
Oh!
Rook's a so. He's looking at the clock 11 seconds. You're like, whoa.
Oh my!
Bro, just
playing with fire here.
Yeah, check. King at 3, push pawn, a4. Yes, no? Yes. Yeah, he did it very well. Getting the rook on the side, clever.
No, this looks crushing. The king goes to b5 and you just slowly move the pawn forward.
Yeah, makes sense. Not play, but king b5 makes perfect sense. Or check first. Don't want that check to run away.
He's just looking at the clock.
Yeah.
Waiting for the flag to happen.
Yeah, just lose some time. I'm not sure about his endgame. Lose some time, please. Maybe you have to, after king b5, maybe you have to make a switch and just bring your rook here and hope for the best. a3. Yeah, strong. Threats to take here. This is not going to work because you're going to be too late and the king is on the second rank. So
oh, you can't take that pawn.
there's so many tricks and problems. King c2 takes. You just need to get the rook behind there. I'm not sure if it's going to be enough, but you have to try. I think. Because if you're staying passive, you're going to lose anyway.
Hmm.
Rook g3. Okay, go to d8. Just go. All the way. Yes. Maybe I'm rooting for nothing, but it feels like it's the only try.
Yeah, it's
Because
best
now
you
the
can
king
do.
can block here and the rook is behind this pawn. And then you have a similar case as we just had, but the king just moved from this side to that side. And this might still be a draw somehow. I don't know. I'm just talking nonsense. Maybe the king is just going here and you push.
So rook g2 has been played?
This would have been a very easy plan, by the way. King to g2.
Yeah,
h1.
probably better.
I think he wants this. You can't go to b1 because of h2, so you have to go to b3.
But then a2.
Yeah, then a2.
And that's over.
Yeah,
And he
okay.
played it.
Of course, this is how you're supposed to win it.
Check.
Not in the position to explain this Turkish talent anything about chess. He knows his stuff. He's too strong. It's just unfair almost.
Yeah.
Too young, too strong.
Very impressive endgame
Wow.
by Erdoğan. Very well played. So, yeah, it means that Turkey won this match 3-1
Yeah.
against Uzbekistan, which is a good score.
Yep, we still have ongoing games, but there's also an interesting game brought to my attention, and we will have a look at that one. It is between Austria and Switzerland, and I'm trying to find that game real quick now. And It is. Oh, it's still ongoing.
It is still ongoing.
But I was told to replay the entire game, so let's.
118 moves so far.
I'm not sure we still have an overview camera of at least a game in progress. I think they might be looking for it. Yeah, well, okay, we have a little bit of
a small view.
But let's hope they will be able to find this game with the cameras. Okay, so this guy was. I've no idea what's happening here, so I was told to show the entire game. So let's just.
98, okay.
Let's just go through this game and see what happened. That is. Wait, that's a. Queen b4, a3, bishop d2. Wait, what's going on here? c3. Okay, this is madness. Queen d8 back. Bishop e7. Okay, this is a great, and it's still ongoing, which is quite nice. Rook h6, d5.
This is insane.
How is this? Why does I'm not gonna do the pawn count because it's gonna go wrong. So a4, a5, b6, b7. What a game! Queen.
Queen b7.
Let's try the next one. Queen b6, rook d1. Okay, I know I'm going too fast, but the game is still ongoing, so we also want to see live images. This is such a tense game. How do these kids sleep at night? Ooh, a7. Now you're getting a second queen.
Oh.
No!
What?
Wait, why? No. No. You queen here.
Wait.
Oh, Robert, what are you doing? Okay.
How did that happen? Usually it's something that happens online.
Like a mouse slip.
Yeah.
No, it's okay. Take the pawn. Nice combination. And now this endgame. Let's fast forward this one. This should be a draw, but we're still playing. Oh boy.
Oh, that's very devastating because that was just completely winning.
There's just one very upset coach waiting for the game to end, and then you could have played a8 queen. Yeah, this is a dead draw. It's very hard to even try something as white. Yeah, game is over. Wow, what a game. Do we still have...
I was looking at a game because there were not just one, but two rook and bishop versus rook end games.
Was white one on time?
I'm not sure what happened in this game because I was like trying to follow it, and suddenly the game finished in a loss. Wait, white won here? That shouldn't be possible.
No, that's I have one ongoing game still here.
Let's take a look.
Yeah, it's the only ongoing game I think in the match between Germany and Israel. It's board 4 between Noga Orion as white and Garis Peklau as black, I guess. This endgame is...
And it was the game between Yehu against Antonio from Cyprus versus, I think this is Australia.
So, but winning on time, that will be painful, right?
Oh, bishop f3 was.
Bishop f3 was played. It says white won, so that's why it's confusing. But I guess bishop f3 was played, and black won the game. Yeah, that is winning, so that makes sense. Right. Result, maybe the kings were placed wrongly. I don't know.
Perhaps.
But we still have one rook endgame. We can see them just right in the top, playing there. Let's just pick up this game because it's another rook endgame. Why not? Our endgame skills are being put to the test here.
This should be winning, I think.
That's how every rook endgame starts, right? This should be winning. 20 moves later, but no, it still should be winning. And like maybe it's a draw, and suddenly then it wins. And
oh, the king is now heading to d1. D2 will be played, and we are building a bridge.
Yeah, you use this little pawn as a decoy to distract the white king. And
yeah.
Yeah, okay, they should be winning.
Yeah. This we know for sure.
But do the players know? I've seen some
Yeah.
crazy things on the time trouble in endgames or rook endgames.
Yeah, this game is
Oh,
not.
but it's very simple now because you just go d2 king e1. You can't
Oh
even
yeah.
approach with a king because it's not possible.
Yeah.
Oh, but you can go there, of course. Okay.
This game is not very significant for the match because Israel already won the match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they did.
But okay, it's always nice to have another point. Oh, actually, it's Germany with black pieces, so it will make the score closer.
Okay, d2. Yeah, it's nice to see the endgame technique of these players.
Mm-hmm.
Because they all know they should be winning, and they all know if they don't know it, they know very well they don't know it. So they're like, oh no, there was something here. There was this move I had to play. But now it's easy. You can. The thing is, you have the extra pawn, so you can go for this. No, you can't. Nope. I should not. I'll just refrain from any comment from this point on.
Can you already start building the? You already have the bridge, so maybe just king c2.
Ah, right, you have the bridge. Yeah.
Okay, you might lose the pawn, but okay.
Yeah, the point is that you go like this and you want to play rook here. But normally you give a check first, so you
Yeah.
usually give check. And the king then, if it goes there, then you can go for this bridge idea. But I'm just confused now. What's going on? Why?
I think maybe just rook e1, and you try to move the king just far away, and you promote at some point.
It's getting embarrassing. Now pushing this? Yeah, okay, why not? I get confused with the extra pawn. I just get confused, but in such a bad way that I start to mess up. G3 is not... Okay, now this rook f3 was quite simple.
Yeah.
And then go here. Then you can hide from checks and just queen. So with G3, king f1...
And you still have the same idea, rook f3, rook e3. Well, yeah, rook f... No, actually, you have to be careful.
Yeah.
G2. Okay, that works too.
Yeah, king takes and then king e2.
Yeah. King f2 played.
And now you just...
Queen.
Yeah, play rook g3. Yeah, queen takes king c2. Of course, king c2. Yeah.
Yeah, and that should be over.
Yeah, should be it. Right, good technique. Better technique than I displayed. So. Yeah, and they're still playing this rook endgame. That's not necessary. All right, we did have two rook bishop versus rook endgames though. We just saw. Oh, we haven't seen them yet. Let's have a look because they were both won this time, and one was by Adamovic against Natishin, and okay. So here we just to see because we've seen this endgame now in every round almost.
Yeah.
And they ended all in draw so far. So here we can see how black converted, and this is nice. You get the king closer, making use of the checkmate threats, so the bishop can join later to close the mating net around the white king. And with this, it's getting very troublesome because normally you want to get out, but this time you can't because the bishop is blocking both of these escape squares. So king and bishop block all 5 squares, then it's very hard to escape. And rook went to h4, but now the rook went to this side, king here, and rook went here, threatening the bishop check. And if rook goes here, okay, it's just easily winning. You give check and you take the rook, of course. So that's one victory, and let's show the other one as well because that's the one you have here.
Yeah.
And that is between Cyprus and is it Australia?
Yeah, Australia.
Australia, yeah. Oh yeah, it's
Cayman
just
Islands.
against Cayman. Right.
Oh,
No, against Cyprus.
yeah, it's the Cyprus.
Australia against Cyprus. So here, also king was getting close to the edge of the board. Rook g2 check. King h2, rook g6. And now once again there's this possibility of going king f2. I suppose that's being played. Yeah, once again leaving the bishop.
Yeah.
But the checkmate threat is real. And now bishop f3 was the decisive move to win the match, threatening checkmate here, and after rook h8 you go to this side. And white can escape, but it will lose you the rook. So good technique by those two players winning this endgame, something that the top players didn't achieve, but these players did. So nice theme throughout this entire tournament so far.
Yeah.
Do we have some overview of the results in chess results maybe already? I know it's fast for the arbiters to keep track of all the results, but I don't think we do, right?
No, we don't.
No, then we just sum it up ourselves, because we saw China dominating the tournament so far.
Yeah.
3.5 against Kazakhstan, well-deserved victory, and they still haven't lost a single game.
Yeah, very impressive.
We saw Turkey beating Uzbekistan, which means Turkey is recovering from their draw in the first round against Georgia, and I think they are very likely to play China tomorrow, but I'm not entirely sure about that. And we saw Armenia beating the Netherlands, which is quite a big upset, right? Because
Yeah.
Armenia is seeded 15 of the field, and the Netherlands is 4th seed of the field.
It feels like the last board of Armenia is heavily underrated.
Yeah, she's rated 1530, but I guess she's a bit stronger than that. Might be rapid rating or just simply being underrated, who knows.
Yeah.
Either way, good result by Armenia. And yeah, I guess we have to visualize the standings, but I think China is in the sole lead, followed by Turkey and maybe also Armenia,
Yeah.
right?
Not this. I don't think they're sharing the same amount of points, but that's the top 3 probably.
Okay, that's the top 3.
Yeah.
So
should be.
that means tomorrow, big chance we get to see China, Turkey, and rest of the boards, bit of a guess, and we'll see when the pairings get out.
Yeah, very exciting. I'm curious to see if Turkey can take down China.
It's the only chance. I mean, if China wins again, then
Yeah,
the
then
tournament is
we're nearing the end of the tournament, so yeah, if it's anyone now, it's Turkey that has to do it. But yeah, so far China has been very successful and just dominating the entire field. So
yeah.
a very good result of the whole team. Every single player. They haven't lost a single game. So
Yeah.
will they be able to continue the streak tomorrow?
Yeah,
Let's find out.
We'll find out tomorrow because the round starts at 10:30 once again. There's only one round tomorrow, and I think in the afternoon they'll have a cultural trip to somewhere, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the players at least. So one round tomorrow, and then on Thursday we have 2 rounds again as usual. Before we end with a nice little video from Katie testing the chess knowledge of all the players, I want to thank you once again for being here,
Oh,
but
thank
we'll
you.
see you back tomorrow, of course, and the rest of the tournament. Thank everyone at home for watching, and this was it. This was day number 3. Yes, of the FIDE World Youth Under 16 Chess Olympiad here from the high-tech campus in Eindhoven. And I hope I see everyone back tomorrow. And as mentioned, now we'll have a little video of how good the chess knowledge of our players is. So thanks for watching and have a great evening. Goodbye.
Hi everyone, this is smartest square kilometer in Europe with all the smart companies around. And we do have a chess tournament running right now, Youth Olympiad. Right after the game, I'll ask them some chess questions and let's check how smart they are. Follow me. Who was the first official world champion?
William Steinitz.
In 1988, a computer won against Grandmaster for the first time.
Deep Blue.
Deep blue! Deep blue!
It is deep, but not blue.
What?
In it?
Then it's a deep ocean.
different.
Deep.
That's something.
How many moves was the longest chess game in history?
270.
You are very close. Very, 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 like super.
269.
Yes. What is the name of chess played by post or email?
Correspondence game.
Correspondence.
This is the smartest. Sorry.
I love food.
This is Gevulde Koi.
I'll give it maybe a 7.
It's actually good. A 7 out of 10.
It seems to have like coconut in it and it's really sweet, so I give it an 8.
You like it?
No! No!
It's kind of sticky. That's nice.
Mine is 6.9. It's just weird.
Yeah.
It's quite soft, yeah.
This is actually my favorite so far. I think it's better than this because it's not too sweet.
Oh, I love it. 69 out of 10.
But it's like something you could take for like a good like 2-3 days and you're like, you know what? I can get another.
Say it again.